I'm about to drop some crazy information for you about flipped houses. I don't know if you're ready for this. Expected this flip yesterday, and this house was a 100-year-old historical home, and the buyers, it was their dream house. They fell in love with it. Do you know why they fell in love with it? That's what flippers do. They paint everything, they put in new cabinets, they upgrade all the appliances because that is the cheapest way to make a house look amazing. Before I even finished my inspection, the buyers are ready to back out of the contract based on my findings. Found major structural issues, I found plumbing leaks, I found ungrounded electrical outlets, and the question is, how are flippers allowed to sell a house like this? Aren't you protected? Let's dive into it and you might be a little surprised. Flippers will put all their energy and money into, like I said, upgrades, lighting, paint, flooring, because that's what you see when you walk in and you're like, oh, this house is perfect. They are not required to upgrade safety issues if they don't know about them. They're not required to check. Joist, wiring, plumbing, drainage, every insulation. They don't have to check any of that stuff. Most states, including Florida, have something that's called the as-is law, meaning that the seller is not required to bring the home up to modern safety codes, safety standards, if they don't know about it. So the trick is, they just need to be ignorant about it. They just have to act like they never saw it. Fresh paint, countertops, make it look pretty. If a flipper purchases an investment property, hires a bunch of contractors to go in and do the cosmetic work, never goes into the crawl space, never goes into the attic, never lived there themselves, they can just plead ignorance. I didn't know. And they're legally covered. That's how they're able to get away with this. Comes the bomb. Code enforcement does not check flipped residential properties unless they're doing major work that requires a permit. So why would an investor do major work that requires a permit that's going to draw attention to them by the code enforcers if they can just stay under the radar, don't pull any permits, don't get caught by code enforcement, just do the bare minimum, try to sell the house without the code enforcers being involved? There's two ways the code enforcers get involved. You pull permits for upgraded electrical work or HVAC system or any major repair, or if a neighbor files a complaint. Those are the only two ways code enforcement gets involved. A lot of these flippers, they're banking on the fact that if it looks pretty on the top, on the surface level, most buyers are not going to dive deeper. And unfortunately, most of the time, they're right. In fact, flipped houses scare me more than old, untouched houses. My house is a 1973 house, but it wasn't flipped. Had the same owner for 36 years. I was far less concerned when I bought this house than if this house had a flipper come through and change out all the cabinets, flooring, paint everything. Now I know there's concealment, and now I have to find the defects through the concealment. It takes a really good home inspector to be able to dive through what flippers do and find the defects from 40 years ago that are now hidden under fresh paint. A flipper can sell a house with structural issues, plumbing leaks, rusted cast iron pipes, rusted galvanized pipes. They can legally sell these houses, and they're protected by the law. They just have to prove ignorance. Like, honestly, yesterday's flip, I found probably about $70,000 to $80,000 worth of damage, probably more. I'm estimating on the low side. Can you imagine? Can you imagine buying a house at top of market value and then finding out you have $60,000 worth of structural issues? And you can't go after the sellers. They're legally protected. That'd be on you. There's nothing you can do about it. That's why flips scare me. And that's why this information is incredibly important for you to know before you buy a house. I'm not saying don't buy flipped houses, by the way. I'm saying make sure you get a really good home inspector to protect you in the process, because there are some really good flippers out there.